It looks like the UK is moving troops to Cyprus to help its citizens evacuate Lebanon as the fighting escalates between Israel and Hezbollah. The British government says that at least 700 troops will travel to Cyprus to bolster their presence in the region. And joining us now is British journalist and Middle East expert Tom Gross on the matter. Tom, how many British citizens are there currently in Lebanon, and what directions are they being given by the British government at this point?
Well, the estimate is there are about 10,000 British citizens in Lebanon, but of course there are quite a lot of dual nationals and they may not know the exact numbers. The British government's actually been urging all British citizens to leave Lebanon already since August, when there was an increased tension between Israel and Lebanon in the summer. And at that time, there were more commercial flights out of Lebanon. Now, almost every airline, including British Airways, every commercial airline has stopped flying, only the Lebanese national carrier. So I can only presume that they are sending warships also to try to attempt to send a boat or something to Lebanon and evacuate citizens who cannot get commercial flights out should they wish to leave.
Are we seeing the UK warn its citizens in Israel to leave?
Not to my knowledge, no. I mean, there are constantly travel warnings about Israel and many parts of the world, no doubt related to Gaza and the West Bank and so on, but I haven't seen any widespread call to leave. I think that probably the British government has confidence in the Israeli missile defense systems, the Iron Dome and so on, to protect most British citizens in Israel. Although I should point out a number of British citizens were murdered by Hamas on October 7th. And some were taken hostage, and there are a couple among the hostages in Gaza who are British-Israeli dual nationals still.
So what kind of role can we expect the UK to play if a larger-scale war does break out between Israel and Hezbollah? What rhetoric are we hearing from the British government?
Well, actually, Britain sent a number of troops about 3 months ago to Lebanon to help train the official Lebanese army, although it's not quite clear what good that's doing because the Lebanese army seems kind of impotent. There are also some British military force on the other side of Lebanon with kind of watchtowers to stop infiltration by Islamic State gunmen from the eastern side into Lebanon. And Britain has suggested setting up similar watchtowers on the border with Israel, of a kind they once had in Northern Ireland, to try to stop cross-border infiltration, I guess, into Israel by Hezbollah militia. But I mean, I don't, to be honest, what I think will be best for Britain, since Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, is currently in New York at the United Nations General Assembly, is to make strong words to Iran, to tell Hezbollah to stop firing missiles at Israel, and there would be a ceasefire in Lebanon immediately if Hezbollah announced that they were going to step back from the border. And it is beyond me why Western governments aren't putting more pressure on Iran. It's just a lot of defensive actions to try and run away. It's a bit like what happened in Afghanistan. There are about 15,000 British citizens in Afghanistan, and it was chaos when they tried to get out there, and various people couldn't get out. So the obvious solution is to pressure Iran to tell Hezbollah, which it fully controls, to stop firing weapons. And I don't know why that isn't in the discourse, well, he's publicly in the discourse of the British, French and other Western countries.
All right, Tom Gross joining us from the UK. Thank you for that update and that insight.